Hello! First and foremost, a few words about me. Along the past 7 years, I have worked on a couple of independent short and feature-length movies, theater plays, and performative arts as a director, writer, and producer. Also, I'm a big gamer. I played video games since I was a little kid, and from the moment it launched, Genshin Impact has become one of my main obsessions. I'm absolutely in love with this game's incredibly large and complex lore, and I have been playing it constantly since day one. Due to the recent global pandemic and some personal stuff, I decided to take a break from directing and focus more on writing, since that was always my main passion. Because of that, I have managed to acquire the rarest thing that the gacha of adulthood has to offer: free time. And I thought to myself, let's put all my experience and years of study to good use and talk about the story in the game that I love. Please note that the following breakdowns are based on my subjective view and knowledge in storytelling, and especially story writing. What I mean is, please don't feel offended if my view on a particular character quest does not match yours, because it really doesn't matter. Me saying something bad about your favorite character story quest does not invalidate your perception and opinions. Stories are a very personal form of expression, and people react to them in different ways based on their personal experiences and beliefs. A moment in a story that may mean nothing to me may hold a lot of weight for you because of our different backgrounds and experiences. And at the end of the day, we're here to have fun and share our enjoyment and love for this game. I plan to make this type of video into a series in which I will talk about all the character story quests in Genshin Impact, in the order in which you unlock them in the game. I think that's fair for everyone. So, in this first video, we will talk about the first 3 character quests that you do right at the beginning of the game. The quests for Kaeya, Amber, and Lisa. Let's start! A common thing about the character quests in the beginning of the game, those being Kaeya, Lisa, Amber, Xianling, and Xinqiu, is that they all suffer from a common problem. And that is the fact that they serve more as an introduction to a certain mechanic or element of the game, and less on a cohesive story surrounding the characters in question. Don't get me wrong, they still do a good job at introducing them and give us a glimpse into their personalities. But that's it, they just give us a glimpse and set up their stories for the future rather than exploring them now. I believe that MiHoYo wanted to keep them simple in order to not overwhelm the players in the beginning of the game and keep their focus more on the main Archon quest. And for me, Kaeya's quest suffers the most from this problem. The only thing that it does for Kaeya is that it serves as an introduction to his mysterious presence and mischievous character, showcasing that he doesn't really take anyone seriously and he will rather manipulate and use dirty tactics to get the job done than trust others and approach the problem directly. And it's funny cause in every action he does and every word he speaks to the Traveler and Paimon, he's just mocking them in a subtle way and tries to use them in order to achieve his goal. But it's also shown that he trusts the Traveler a little bit more than your average Paladin, and even if he lied to them the whole quest, he also has some grain of respect for them, which I doubt he has for a lot of people. Kaeya is such an interesting character and has so much potential based on his background, and I'm really looking forward to see what MiHoYo will do with him. But for this character quest in particular, they decided just to play it safe. Overall, it was just a goose chase that was pretty disappointing.
皆さんこんにちは。私はアンバー、セピロス騎士団の偵察騎士だよ。見知らぬ旅人さんばっかり。ダメダメ。こんな姿、騎士のあるべき立ち振る舞いじゃないよね。ごめんなさい。改めて自己紹介するね。私はアンバー。今日は皆さんのガイド役として。
Amber's quest has the same problem as Kaeya's, and that is the fact that it served more as a gliding tutorial than an actual character quest. Now, I know that she is the gliding champion of Mondstadt and that it's in her character to teach us more about gliding, since she was the one that gave the glider to us. I'm not saying that this is bad or that there's anything wrong with it, but that makes it just that, a gliding tutorial with some Amber story on the side. To be completely honest, from all the starting character quests, I enjoyed Amber's the most. Maybe it's because we got to spend more time with her than the other characters and I was a bit more attached to her. By the end of her quest, we got a pretty solid understanding of her character, and even if the raptor chase came out of nowhere and was not that interesting, I still enjoyed it more than the goose chase Kaeya sent us on or the pseudo date with Lisa. Overall, I'm not very sure that we needed it in the first place, since gliding is not that complicated of a mechanic, and I would have appreciated a lot more if we had focused on Amber instead. But hey, maybe that's just me. I just wanted to see more of Amber because I really like her, and I feel like MiHoYo shafted her pretty hard after the Mondstadt story ended. Lisa's character quest was a bit weird to me. Believe it or not, the first part was made just to get us around Mondstadt in order to familiarize us with the NPCs and the different stores. It was not enough for the game to forcefully stop you when you first go nearby them and explain what they do and what you can buy for them, they also used Lisa's character quest to remind you that they exist. Even if Genshin character quests seem very random sometimes, in reality they are not. No matter how mundane, it's impressive for me to see that MiHoYo has a purpose and meaning behind every trivial interaction. Usually, I'm a bit more forgiving with stories in video games, since it's a pretty new medium and there are no real rules or guidelines in how storytelling really works here. It's pretty different from movies or novels, because you have to take the player into account and make sure that he has a good understanding of the mechanics and gameplay elements first. That is why I am much more forgiving with the story in these 3 character quests than I would have been if they were presented to me in a movie or a book. They created this artificial sensation of a date with Lisa in order to appeal to the fantasies of some players. And I'm not complaining. Look, MiHoYo knows that we are a bunch of degenerates. And you know why? Because they themselves are the biggest degenerates of them all. They knew very well what to do with this character and what the player's impressions of her would be. Come on, just look at her birthday. She was specifically made to cater to the thirsty MILF-loving audience, which is further made even more obvious by the fact that if you pay close attention to her dialogue, she talks to the player, not the traveler.
It's you, little cutie. Or did you just come to see me? Ooh, a smooth talker. Not what I was expecting. You really are such a considerate cutie. There's no time limit for you. I do wish I could keep you by my side as my personal assistant. With you by my side, my troublesome work was a little less dull than usual.
I see you, MiHoYo. I see you. As a last thing, I want to mention that all 3 characters have enormous potential for future story quests. Kaeya and his relation with Khaenri'ah, Lisa's connection with the Sumerus Academia and her hidden powers, and finally Amber and her missing grandfather. I really hope that MiHoYo will expand on them in the future. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this story breakdown, please leave a like and subscribe for more Genshin Impact story related content. If this series will be successful, I plan to expand it to the main Archon quests, events, character hangouts, manga, and even dabble in the story from Honkai Impact, which is on a whole different level. Thank you for watching.